movie review for March 2021 is has been chosen Aardvark. Jeff chose Aardvark, and I don't know why. Maybe he'll explain it, but it was the one picked, and so I watched it. When watching these movies with Jeff, it was always, it doesn't matter what the movie was, I was getting something out of it, and I enjoyed it a lot more because I was watching it with my brother. Now that we're watching it separately, I had to watch it by myself. And that being said, I kind of didn't enjoy this movie. And maybe it's because I wasn't watching it with anyone. I'm not really sure. But I'll explain some of it. Aardvark, 2017 movie. I didn't know any of the actors except two. I knew the main character, Josh. His played by Zachary Quinto, done really quite well, I thought. John Hamm also did a good job of playing his brother, Craig. The other two leads I didn't know before, so the movie is technically about this. I don't know if it's about Josh or if it's about his therapist. His therapist is Emily, and Josh starts seeing Emily as a patient, and so he talks about some of his difficulties, and Emily is a surprisingly not competent therapist, I think. I don't know. She just didn't seem like a good therapist to me anyways. I didn't know if this movie was trying to be a drama. I didn't exactly know what it was trying to do. It had a bunch of disjointed scenes that weren't explained. It's called Aardvark, so you know there's going to be an aardvark in there somewhere, and sure enough, there's an aardvark in a flashback scene. But it kind of really wasn't explained well. Maybe it has, you need to have more knowledge than I do, but there are parts I just didn't get it. The part Emily is in a park, and she's like, you think she's going to go for a jog, but she's just standing there, and up walks her ex, and he says, should we go out? And maybe that's not a good idea, but it really wasn't explained. It seemed like there was a bunch of little scenes there that were supposed to explain the character, but they didn't really do a good job of explaining the character, at least not for me. So anyways, Josh has a diagnosis of schizophrenia, or he calls it a condition. It seems to me like it sounds like schizophrenia, but although sometimes these diagnoses are actually layered with other conditions, and so they're a little more confusing and not easily to just explain, which is the way it is in real life. We don't often get just a simple diagnosis and there, we're done. So he goes to see Emily, and she's sort of helpful, and then she's kind of not, and then he's having problems because his brother, he hasn't seen in a long time. There seemed to have been a difficulty there, and so his brother, who's an actor, is now appearing to him in other people, and so we come to see that a lot of these people are delusions, and then you get to the point where it's like, okay, who's a delusion? Is the therapist a delusion? Is his girlfriend? Is his brother? Like, who knows anymore? So it kind of gets confusing, and there's no really big aha. I remember watching A Beautiful Mind, the story of John Nash, and I think Russell Crowe was portrayed that, and he did a stellar job of bringing the story and the idea of mental illness to the film, to the cinema. And there was a bunch of moments in that film I went, oh, I get it now. And they were just brilliant. And this one, there was hardly any, that was just kind of like, oh, okay. And it just didn't seem to flow together. It seemed a little disjointed, and yeah, it wasn't one that I think, oh, I'm going to watch that one again. There's probably more to it. There's a bunch of things like, the therapist sleeping with her brother's, or her patient's brother, and it's like, I don't know if I believe that it doesn't bode well for the therapist community. It seemed an odd thing to put in there, but yeah, who wants to be in bed with John Hamm? If I was the actress, I'd say. It was, but it wasn't even a romance. It was just this weird kind of thing that would move the plot along. And Oh, okay. So the one line that Zachary had said, Josh, the character, he had said sometimes irregular things can be just fine. And yeah, sometimes they can, but sometimes irregular things are irregular for a reason and they need to be looked at to become regular again. I don't know. That doesn't make sense. But anyways, what else? No, it was I like the actors. I like the idea of the theme, but it just didn't seem to be pulled together very well. At least in my opinion. If I had been watching it with someone, maybe we could talk through some of the things, and then I'd go, "Oh, okay, I kind of get it." But I don't know that I'm going to give it that much time again. I was, I'm always happy to watch a movie, but it was okay. Nothing to, nothing on the actors. They're told what to do. It just seemed like a convoluted way of trying to get to the end of the story, and it was kind of a happy ending-ish, lit like, but yeah, that was sort of my take on it. We'll have to see what we do next month. I try to tie the movies together with a theme or something, connecting them, so I don't know. This one was called Aardvark, and it didn't have a lot to do with an aardvark, so I don't know if there's a movie called Porcupine out there. It has nothing to do with a porcupine. But anyways, I'll figure it out at one point, and we'll see what we see next month. So thanks for watching, and if you watch it, I hope you get a little bit more out of it than I did.